My cheating wife chose her affair partner over me while carrying my baby. My wife, Kathy, is 29 years old and has always worked out and been in shape, but lately, it feels like it's becoming excessive. She used to regularly work out at a gym when she was in college but eventually stopped going, preferring to work out at home or go for runs outside. About 18 months ago, she announced she was going to get back into the habit of going to the gym. With her current job allowing more flexibility, she had more time to go. At first, it seemed normal, but over time, her gym visits became more frequent. She signed up for classes on weekends, both days, and began going to the gym every day. Eventually, it was twice a day, in the morning before work and again in the evening. If she was stressed, she went to the gym. If she experienced a life crisis, off to the gym she went. If we had an argument, she'd run to the gym. She's now 4 months pregnant, and I'm surprised we even had the time to conceive. I know it's safe for her to work out, especially since she was active before the pregnancy, but the intensity hasn't slowed down. If she misses a gym session, she becomes irritable, like a junkie not getting her fix. It's bizarre, truly a case of too much of a good thing. Of course, she gets upset when I voice my concerns, saying it's becoming an unhealthy obsession. I've told her I miss spending time with her because she's always at the gym. She has this whole circle of friends there and seems to prefer their company over mine. When I suggested working out together, she dismissed it, saying, "The gym is my time. This isn't about insecurity. I'm in shape and work out regularly because my job demands it." I genuinely feel her gym habits are unhealthy. She's over-exercising. Yes, that's a real thing. Worse, it seems like she uses the gym as an escape from everything else in her life. Nothing gets resolved. She just runs off to the gym for a mood boost. She doesn't contribute to chores or cooking because she's always at the gym. People we know have even commented on her behavior, with some suggesting she might be having an affair. Update 1. Not long ago, I posted about my wife's obsession with the gym. She spends most of her free time there, often going twice or even thrice a day. She refuses to let me join her gym or switch to mine. Her gym is her place, she insists. At 18 weeks pregnant, she's still working out as intensely as ever. I genuinely didn't think she was cheating. People suggested it in my last post, but I brushed it off. She's obviously at the gym a lot, her physical shape is proof of that. But after reading the comments, I started doubting myself. One day, she left her phone on the kitchen counter. I felt stupid, but I decided to check her texts. She had an ongoing conversation with a guy named Chad from the gym. She mentions him often, and I've even met him at a gym wedding we attended last fall. The texts? Explicit. Graphic. I now know details about this man I never wanted to know. Furious, I confronted her. She yelled at me for invading her privacy, saying, "It's nothing." But it didn't look like nothing. When I asked if she had been sleeping with him, she kept saying no. Enraged, I smashed her phone and left the house. I stayed at my brother's house that night. When I returned, she was in bed crying, saying she didn't think I'd come back. I took her phone to get it repaired, even though I didn't think she deserved it. She still wouldn't admit to anything beyond what I'd seen in the texts. Was it just texting or was it more? I was convinced it was much more. She tried to act like I was a monster for breaking her phone, but I honestly felt like body slamming her after she hit me. Update 2. Today, my wife asked me to stay home from work so we could talk. Yesterday, she laid in bed all day, trying to make me feel sorry for her, but I paid no attention. I left the house to go to my family's Super Bowl party. I wasn't in the mood to attend, but I couldn't sit at home with her. She kept texting me things like, "Who just leaves like that when something like this is happening? Who is that cold and callous that they just leave to go to a party?" This morning, I stayed home to talk. She was full of tears, saying she was sorry. According to her, she really was going to the gym twice a day because it's where her friends are, it makes her feel good, and it's fun for her. She admitted that she met this guy, Chad, at the gym, and he started flirting with her. Everyone there likes him. He's apparently one of the most popular guys. I didn't realize gyms had popular people. At first, she said she didn't mean anything by it when she flirted back. She claimed it felt like a schoolgirl crush, innocent at first. But eventually, their texts turned explicit, and the relationship escalated. She said she tried to resist it, but one day they kissed, and later that night, she had a night with him. She described it as feeling like she was falling in love for the first time. She couldn't stop thinking about him. When I asked if she was in love with him, she said she didn't know. I asked if the baby was mine, and she said she thought so, but there was a chance it could be his. He always used condoms. But since they were leaping together at the time of conception, she couldn't be sure. The nail in the coffin was when she said, "You would really leave me if it's not your baby? Wouldn't you?" I told her, of course I would. She seemed shocked. "Really? With everything we have? All our history? You wouldn't even consider it?" she asked. I told her no, I wouldn't. She tearfully agreed to get a DNA test. It was as if I was supposed to feel sorry for her agreeing to something she should have done in the first place. She cried the whole time, but they weren't tears of shame. They were tears for herself. She even announced that she was moving in with her affair partner, AP, from the gym. She said she was too embarrassed to get blood drawn for a paternity test but still wanted to work things out between us. I've ignored her pleas for attention. She texted me this morning to say she was moving in with him. Somehow, I still care about her, but I've already met with a lawyer. I don't think she needs to move in with him, but she insists he loves her and that he's been supportive through everything. Update 3. The DNA test confirmed that the baby is mine. I don't know how to describe my emotions. On one hand, I'm relieved. It's my child. But on the other, I'm devastated. My daughter will be born into this mess. Despite everything, my ex-wife, I've started calling her that, is still living with her AP. She's set up a nursery in his house. She says I can set up one in mine, as she doesn't plan to seek full custody. You'll be involved in her life, she assured me, as if I needed her permission. She even had the audacity to suggest I thank him for letting me be a part of the baby's life. I told her I wasn't thanking anyone. She showed up at our house with him to collect some of her belongings. He walked into my home without permission, calling me Bud and saying he understood how I must be feeling. He promised he wouldn't try to take my place as the baby's father. I couldn't hold back. I punched him. She screamed at me, and I told her he deserved it. Update 4. Our daughter was born last night, 2 weeks early. My ex-wife went into labor while she was alone at his house. She called me, not him. I left work and went over to support her. She told me she felt more comfortable with me there because I had already seen her at her worst. It was awkward being in his house, but I put my feelings aside for her and the baby. When he came home and found me there, he immediately questioned my presence. I told him to leave, and when he refused, I left instead. Later, she texted me to say she was heading to the hospital. She said she wanted me in the delivery room, which was all I wanted to hear. The birth was awkward with him there, but I focused on her and the baby. My daughter is healthy, small, and perfect. I can't describe how I felt holding her for the first time. Final update. I'm doing my best to focus on being a good father. My ex-wife continues to live with her AP, but I've been granted ample visitation rights. I've set up a nursery in my home and am preparing for my new life as a single dad. I've stopped caring about her relationship with him, mostly. I'll never forgive her for what she did. But my priority now is my daughter. This journey has been a nightmare, but I refuse to let it define me. My focus is on being the best dad I can be and ensuring my daughter knows how much she is loved.